You know, right now farmers markets are so full of so much great produce from this time of year. We're talking, you know, from pumpkins, sweet potatoes to cranberries, but finding different recipes without going full Thanksgiving just yet can be really tough. Chef Brandi Alexander is here in the Charlie Wilson KitchenAid kitchen with some easy recipes to help us kind of get in that fall mood, right? But you don't want to go full till Thanksgiving. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes, you know, we still have another month for Thanksgiving, but there's all of this great, you know, root vegetables and squash and cranberries. You know, and I love cranberry juice, but this time of the year, you see these in the store, they're on sale for super cheap, and what do you do with them besides make cranberry sauce? You know, and that's the reason a lot of people don't buy them, you know, that's all they think they can do with them.
Or they think it's hard, right? Like it's a process.
Yes.
But not so.
So I love cranberry juice, and I'm going to show you guys how to make cranberry juice today, and actually what to do with the leftovers too.
Right. I love that you always do that, right?
Yes, I don't like to waste anything. So of course I had to start part of this before. So in this pot right here, I've just dumped in 3 packages of cranberries. It's about 9 cups and covered it with 10 cups of water.
Okay.
All you have to do is let this cook for 20 minutes on the stove. Full recipe is on Instagram, by the way.
Okay.
So we let this cook for 20 minutes on the stove, and as you can see, it's still super chunky. There's lots of liquid in there. So the first thing you want to do is you want to strain it in a regular strainer. Okay, just a regular old strainer like you have at home, and that's going to get out most of the chunks of cranberry. Now this stuff, don't throw it away. You can use this leftover to make your cranberry sauce. You need a ½ cup of sugar for every cup of pulp you have. Just simmer it on the stove. You can add a little bit of orange juice, orange zest, and then you're not wasting. So after the first strain, you're going to come out and it's going to look like juice, but you can see in the bottom there's still like lots of pulp and like puree. It's not like orange juice where you want to drink that pulp. It's going to be bitter. It's not going to be nice. So the second thing we're going to do is, this is called a nut bag. It's for nut milk. You can buy it on Amazon. You can also just use regular cheap cheesecloth that you can get at any department store. So we're going to use this to make sure that it's strained really well. We don't want any bitter chunks in it, and if you want to, you can just pour that right into here.
Okay. What I love about this recipe, because I love cranberry juice, but I hate all the sugar that comes with it, right? Like this
you can completely control that in this recipe.
Right.
And as you can see, it's starting to come through right away because a lot of that pulp's been taken out already.
Hold on. Move this to the side here.
And now you can see it's clear, it's not murky.
Look at that. Oh, it did catch a lot of stuff. Look at that.
There's lots of stuff down there at the bottom that you don't realize is in there, that it's just bitter. Now what you can do is the stuff that's left in the bag, go ahead and add to your pulp. You can put it in with the cranberry sauce.
So when you're going to make your cranberry sauce, I mean, how long will this keep? So you could...
You can actually freeze this if you didn't want to make it right away, but you need to use it within a couple of days if you want to do it immediately. Now all we have left to do is you are completely able to control the amount of sweetness in it. If you're going to use real sugar, you're going to want 1 to 2 cups of sugar, and I always like to use a drizzle of honey in it. Gives it a good flavor. But you can use your favorite sweetener. You can make it keto. You can add any kind of sweetener you want to it. Maple syrup, brown sugar, but I like a little bit of honey in it.
With the maple syrup and the brown sugar, or even, let's say, maple syrup, honey, what kind of sweetness level does that give? Right? Because I like it. I don't like a lot of sugar.
You need a little bit less honey if you don't want it too sweet. If you add a whole cup of honey to it, you're probably not going to be able to drink it.
Right.
The one that you're about to taste, I only used 1 cup of sugar in mine, and this makes about 10 cups of cranberry juice.
Oh, wow.
And I just did a drizzle of honey. Okay, so we've got a finished one right here if you want to try.
We're going with the mason jar theme here. I love it.
And I've had several people who do not like cranberry juice tell me they love it. It can taste completely different.
Right. All right. Are we cheers? Cheers. We always cheers in the GDL kitchen, right? Oh, that's delicious.
It's amazing.
That's better than any store-bought cranberry juice I've had.
It tastes like real cranberries, you know. I think a lot of people that don't like the store-bought juice think they don't like cranberries.
No, that is so, and it's light. It's like not overly, like you said, not getting hit with like all this sour, not getting hit with a ton of sugar. It's really, really great.
And you know, it's simple enough. You can make it in less than an hour. I use this in a lot of the cocktails at my private in-home dinners. So I make bourbon cocktails with these. You can add some of this juice to an apple cider, you know, give it a little more flavor. Okay, so
All right, we're switching.
over here
go.
we have
Next.
cabbage, and I feel like cabbage sometimes gets a bad name.
Yeah, and
you
it's
know,
intimidating.
It is, you know, because if you just boil it on the stove, some people like that, you know, but it has the smell, it has, you know, the slimy texture. So a lot of people think they don't like cabbage, but there's other ways to cook it.
Okay.
So this is my bacon skillet cabbage.
Okay.
I am using about 3 tablespoons of bacon grease first. If you're not saving your bacon grease in the fridge, then you're doing it wrong.
Okay. How do you save it in the fridge? Just in a container like that?
Yes, all you need to do is drain it. You can save it in a mason jar. You can save it in a Tupperware bowl. It'll keep in the fridge forever.
Okay.
And it's a great addition to vegetable dishes, meat dishes.
Oh, wow,
We're going
that
to go
smells so
on
great.
and add our cabbage in. And this is going to caramelize it. It's not going to get soft and soggy. We're not adding any liquid to it. So it's going to have like a crunch to it, a caramelized color. And then, you know, I'm big on sweet and savory. I'm going to add some of Flavor God's chicken and waffle seasoning.
Wow, okay.
Which sounded intimidating to me when
Yeah.
I first got it, but it has the notes of the chicken flavor. It has like a sweetness, like a maple syrup to it. If you can't get a hold of this, which you can get this on flavorgod.com, you can find it in the link on my Instagram. But if you can't get a hold of this, then you can add just some regular chicken bouillon and towards the end a little maple syrup to still get the same flavor.
Nice.
So
I'm curious, like, what led you to mix the two together?
I'm really big on sweet and savory, and when I first tried this, I thought it tastes good, but what do I do with it? I don't want
Yeah.
to make chicken and waffles with it. And I just thought that the sweet and salty notes would be a nice addition to a vegetable that doesn't have much flavor.
Right.
Cabbage doesn't have, you know, much to it. What you add to it is what it tastes
And
like.
you see it all over the supermarkets right now in the produce
Yes, super
lanes,
cheap.
and it's everywhere in the farmers markets. And it's great for you, right?
Yes, very good for you. It can handle tons of seasoning. I put in about 2 tablespoons of the chicken and waffle seasoning right now. I'm going to add some black pepper.
Okay.
And I'm going to add about 4 cloves of minced garlic.
Okay.
And then we're just going to keep that going, and then we'll see what it looks like.
It smells so
After the
good,
break.
Brandi. Wow. And so you're going to let this, cook down? Typically, how long would you recommend?
It's going to take about 10, 12 minutes.
Okay.
You want it on about medium high. Like I said, you want it to char a little bit. It won't be burning. You want it to
Yeah.
caramelize and brown. We don't want it to be soggy. So, you know, leaving out that extra liquid is going to help with that.
Listen, like a lot of times you think of the smell of cabbage, like cooking in a house.
And it stinks, you know?
It smells horrible. This does not. This has this mapley bacon, right? Like there's just it smells beautiful. So this is not going to stink up your house. So we're going to let this cook down, and Brandi's going to stick around and be back with another segment. We're going to see how this turned out. And they're also going to switch gears to do an apple butter.
We're doing a bourbon apple butter, and then I'm going to show you what to do with your root vegetable peels.
Right? Because we made this great root recipe the last time that you were here. So good. I tried it at home. But instead of throwing those things out, you've of course
I'm gonna show you
repurposed
guys how to
once
reuse
again.
them.
All right, that's coming up later. If you want to break down all these recipes, she has you hooked up over on her Instagram page. She has all the videos that are already up. Also, if you'd like to purchase the Flavor God seasoning, but there's a couple of them, you can get Brandi's discount if you put in the code.
Yeah, if you the code's Brandi SF or Chef Brandi SF, you can go on my Instagram, and in the link in my bio has a code to it. So yeah, go get you a discount.
Right? Getting you some discounts as well. So stay with us. More to come with Chef Brandi.